Hi lovelies, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Becca, and if you're not, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics ever when it comes to finding ways to achieve success, and it's actually how to set effective goals so that you can reach the things that you set your mind out to. A lot of times people will set goals that they think will carry them along in helping them reach their goals. A lot of times people fall short not because of the goals themselves, but in the way that they categorize or write or set their goals. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step guide on how to set effective goals. All right, so you might be wondering why it's even important to have goals. What's the purpose? What's the meaning? How do they even help us? And so we're going to break this down a little bit. One thing that I like to think of when it comes to setting goals in general is that they're sort of like a GPS. They're what tell us what to do, where to go when we're on the path to somewhere. So think about when you get into your car, you're going to a new location and you don't know how to get there, right? You turn on the GPS to give you step-by-step directions. Think about goals in the same way. When you have a goal in mind or something that you want to achieve in life that you haven't yet done yet or you want to continue to work on, setting goals is sort of like the GPS or the way that you get to where you want to be. Another thing that I love about goal setting is that they're a source of motivation, they're a source of direction, and let's make sure that our goals are helping us achieve the things that we actually want to achieve in life. The first step in this process, we're going to call it finding your vibe. And what I mean by finding your vibe is finding what excites you or what it is that you're trying to achieve. This could be things related to fitness, financial, relationship, friendships. What is it that you're trying to work towards, and what is the thing that's important to you right now? What is it that you're going to devote all of this attention and resource to? So, when you're thinking about how to find your purpose, how to find your vibe, how to find what it is that you want to work towards, you have to ask yourself questions to allow yourself to think deeper about what it is that you want, right? So ask yourself things about what sets your soul on fire, what gives you energy, what gives you excitement, what is something that would mean a lot to you to reach, or what is something that would mean a lot to you to be able to achieve or check off your list or to say that you've accomplished. When it comes to finding your vibe, this is a time where you get to dig deeper and look inward into finding out what is it that excites you and what is it that you even want out of life. What is it that you're trying to achieve? I recommend taking time to reflect on this deeply, because without a clear purpose or a clear vision or a clear vibe of where you're trying to go, it can be pretty difficult to set goals to help you get there if you don't have an idea of what the big picture thing is. I recommend jotting a few things down and really getting clear on what that thing is. This is going to be the big outcome goal, the thing that you're trying to set these little goals to achieve. This is going to serve as your foundation, so you want to make sure that it's something that really aligns with you and it's something that you enjoy and aligns with who you are at your core. So that is step one. Find your vibe / find your purpose and what it is that you're working towards. Okay, so the next part in actually getting clear on your goals is to set SMART goals. SMART goals is something that I'm sure we have heard either on social media, in school, since we were youngins. SMART goals are something that are not new. However, we want to make sure that we're setting SMART goals to help us get to where we want to be. The S is for specific. What is it that you're working towards? Getting very specific in your goal. M is measurable. So how are you going to measure your progress? How are you going to know that you're making progress towards your goal? How are you going to measure success? So the A in SMART goals stands for achievable or attainable. Is it something that's realistic? This is not telling you to think inside of the box. You're still welcome to step outside of the box and challenge yourself, but is it realistic? Is it something that you can actually achieve with the resources that you have access to? Let's say somebody sets a goal that they want to run 6 marathons in 1 month. We know that running a marathon takes an insane amount of training, and that's just not something that's realistic. Also, probably not the healthiest, right? So is it something that is realistic to you, something that is achievable or attainable? So next we have R, which is relevant. Is it something that is relevant to your values, or is the goal that you're setting relevant to you, to what you do, to what you want to achieve? So thinking about the relevancy of the goal that you're setting is going to be very important when trying to achieve success. So lastly, we have T, which is time bound. When is it that you're trying to achieve this goal by? A lot of people have misconceptions about putting a time on their goals, and that it could feel pressured, it could feel rushed, it could feel all of these different things, but having a time makes your goal that much more specific and that much more attainable. So be sure to have some sort of time sensitive aspect to your goal that you're setting. So now let's kind of give an example. Overall, let's say you have a goal of becoming more fit. Somebody might have a goal of of I want to be more fit. A goal of wanting to be more fit is not very specific. It's not very measurable, right? How is it that you want to be fit? In what ways do you want to be fit? Do you want to be lifting a certain amount? Do you want to be running a certain distance? Achievable? Is it realistic? Do you have access to the things? The next thing is relevance. It sounds like fitness would be something that's important to somebody who has a goal of wanting to become more fit. And then the last thing that's missing within this goal is time bound. You want to be fit by when, right? Having some sort of time element. So to change the goal of I want to be fit to be more of a SMART goal might sound something like, I want to run a 5K under 30 minutes by January 1st. You see how that's so much more smart and realistic and specific than just saying, I want to be more fit. That can mean so many different things. So by saying, I want to run a 5K in under 30 minutes by January 1st is very, very specific. And then it can allow me to set smaller goals along the way to help me reach that bigger goal. The next step number 3, is breaking it down. So now we've set our SMART goal. Let's continue to use the example of wanting to be more fit. We turned that into a SMART goal of I want to run a 5K in under 30 minutes by January 1st. Now in step 3, it's breaking it down. How am I going to get to 30 minutes or less in a 5K by January 1st? What is it that I'm going to be doing daily? What is it that I'm going to be doing weekly? What is it that I'm going to be doing monthly to help me reach my goal by January 1st? So these are the small little action steps that you're actually going to take each day, each week, each month to help you reach your overall goal. It's really, really important to break it down, because if you just set a large outcome goal, then you're not really focused on the process, and the process is actually what you're doing. It's actually what you have control of on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So breaking it down is a very, very important step after you've already set that big SMART goal. Another reason why it's important to break down these larger goals into smaller bite-sized pieces is that they're easier to digest. The goal doesn't seem as scary or as far-fetched when we break it down into small pieces. So running a 5K in under 30 minutes for someone who hasn't ran at all yet might sound very hard or difficult, and it actually might deter you away from trying to reach that goal. But when you break it down into smaller parts, that is what is going to give you that motivation to continue going and reach that 5K under 30-minute goal. So when you're breaking down your goals into these smaller bite-sized pieces, this is where I want you to be very careful and aware of the terminology that you're using. So when we set our big goal, we said that I want to X, Y, and Z. When we're talking about breaking it down, I want you to write these by saying I will. So I want these to look like, I will run 10 minutes a day 5 times a week. I will run for 20 minutes a day 3 times a week. I will blank. I will blank. These are the smaller goals that allow you to talk about what you're actually going to do, which in turn are going to help you reach that big goal. It helps you overall find that motivation, and it kind of snowballs, right? So if you have a goal of wanting to run that 5K by January 1st, and your small action step that you're going to do each day is I will run 10 minutes a day for 3 times a week, doing that smaller 10-minute section isn't going to seem as scary as just the big goal of running a 5K under 30 minutes by January 1st. So the next step 4, is all about having an action plan. When you're making your action plan, I want you to think of all of the possible barriers that might come in place when you're trying to reach this big goal that you have, so that you can overcome them early rather than when they come up. So does that mean that you need to find your old trainers, your sneakers that have been in the garage? Does that mean that you might need to buy new ones? Does that mean that you need to put your Apple Watch on the charger so that it can be fully charged and you can time your runs when you're going 3 to 5 times a week? Does that mean you need to find an accountability buddy? Thinking about the different action steps or action items that you need to do to set yourself up for success is going to help you when you're trying to reach these little process goals and then the overall outcome goal. The next step number 5, is holding yourself accountable. One of the best ways to hold yourself accountable is by having an accountability buddy, somebody that knows what you're working towards, that you trust, of course, to help you along with your goals. Could be a great way to keep yourself accountable. So somebody that you can rely on to motivate you when the motivation's not there, to help you stay disciplined, or to help just motivate and cheer you on as you're working towards your goal. Keeping a planner or a tracker is another way to keep yourself accountable. So if you're marking off the days that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, say we're using the example of running the 5K, having a little fitness tracker or planner or something like that where you can check off each time you've done your run will be another great way to hold yourself accountable, because you're going to notice when you haven't made a check mark in a few days, and that's just going to ignite that passion to go out there and get your run in so that you could reach your big goal by January 1st. So the last step that I have when it comes to setting goals to actually achieve success is to celebrate your wins. It's so important to give yourself little moments of reinforcement and celebration along the way, especially when you're working towards a goal. goal. So this might look like at the end of the week celebrating by, you know, doing something that you really enjoy. Maybe it's treating yourself to something that you haven't had in a while, or maybe that just means sharing it with your loved ones that you were able to achieve something along the way. But celebrating the small wins is such a good way to continue to give yourself that motivation. Little things that can be celebrated are huge, and they just keep you on track to reaching your overall big goal that you have set. All right, lovely, so there you have it. This is a step-by-step guide on how to actually achieve your goals to reach success by following these simple steps of becoming very clear on what your vibe or passion is, setting smart goals, and then making very reasonable action steps, breaking your goals down. These are all things that are going to help you achieve your goals so that you can reach success. I love goal setting. If you have a goal that you're working on right now, let me know what it is in the comment below. I'm happy to help you figure out ways to break your goal down or to make it more specific, measurable, attainable, relevant to you, or time bound. So if you need help with that, let me know. Put in the comments. I will be more than happy to help out. So anywho, I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.